When I was 18 years old, I joined the military and went to war because I was told it would preserve American democracy. And regardless of whether or not that's true, myself and a lot of other millennials bought in and then served because they believed in that democracy. So it is deeply upsetting to me that when folks are told you need to vote to preserve democracy, they still refuse to do it. They're not being asked to sacrifice their lives or their health or their freedoms to preserve this thing that they take advantage of every day. They're just being asked to vote, and they won't do it. I know this is going to be contentious. People say, well, these young people have been failed by American democracy, as if there aren't thousands of people older than us who lived through worse versions of America going, hey, it can and will be worse. Exercise your right while you have it. As if there's not millions of activists and people who do community engagement begging people to vote. There's a guy threatening to use the American military on American civilians. He's threatening to get rid of more of women's health care. He's threatening to use the law that we used to detain Japanese citizens during World War II as an example of what he's going to do to get rid of all the immigrants he doesn't like. And despite that and 1,000 other terrible things, people are still just not going to bother. Or they're going to vote for a Russian puppet who is running a spoiler campaign for that guy. And it is just unthinkable to me that people are more concerned with feeling morally righteous than preserving their own democracy. Well, both of those candidates support the U.S. ally that we've been protesting. So what's the difference? Well, that U.S. ally that you're protesting, they want Trump to win. Biden has publicly accused that ally of continuing their war efforts and refusing a ceasefire deal because of these protests, hoping that it'll put Trump into power, who has said publicly, let them finish the job. Oh, well, she's a cop, and I refuse morally to vote for a cop. The other guy wants to have a purge. He has publicly advocated for letting the police rough people up for a day so they stop doing so many crimes. Unless you're a straight white landowning male, someone in American history has fought and died for your right to vote. And they did so under a system that was not perfect. And when they got the right to vote, they voted for imperfect candidates that did not have all of their best interests in mind. And they did all these things because under a system of democracy, they had a better chance of getting the things that they needed for their community than under a dictatorship. So it's just insane to me how many nuanceless, ridiculous arguments I've seen for why it's okay not to vote or vote for the dictator's spoiler candidate. Arguments that are often started and then disseminated by foreign bot accounts. And it's certainly not all young people. Plenty of them are engaged, maybe more so than ever in American history. But a depressing number of them refuse to vote and are very vocal online about it, and also trying to get others to join them. So I just don't know how to process that me and my friends were willing to go to war, and these young people aren't even willing to go to a ballot box. Democracy is so much more important than any one person. It's not a given, and it requires people to fight for it to exist. We currently have the ability to preserve one without a war, and you should take that opportunity.